Hi everybody, Sarah Stonelove here, and I'm pretty excited to talk to you today about the law of assumption, Neville Goddard's teachings, but in particular, quantum jumping. Doesn't just the sound of that sound exciting? This concept is all based on multiple parallel realities all existing at once, and how we can switch timelines and quantum jump into a reality where you already have all the things that you've been wanting to manifest. Just stay with me for a minute because I know this concept sounds pretty out there, but I'm gonna actually share with you some of the science that backs it up. If you're new here, I'm Sarah Stonelove, and my channel is all about the science and psychology of manifesting. I'm super passionate about Neville Goddard's teachings because your assumptions, your beliefs, your stories that you're telling, well, that is what creates your reality. And if you shift those stories, well, you can actually start to shift your entire life. Quantum jumping centers around this concept of multiverse, where every single version of reality already exists, and there is infinite potential possibilities. I've heard many profound speakers like Joe Dispenza lecture about this countless times, and all you have to do is shift your perception to be able to perceive it already around you. The science behind this is found in quantum physics, and it's very similar to what is called the superposition. For instance, the sun is in a specific location like all physical things, and we can measure the distance, and we can predict things like the moon orbiting the earth. But the quantum world is way different. Quantum particles are so small that just means that they can't be any further divided, and they're basically the building blocks of our universe. Electrons orbit the nucleus of atoms, but they can be present in 3 different locations at the same time. It's known as the superposition of states. It's like me and you being here right now, and maybe at the exact same time I'm sleeping in my home, and at the exact same time I'm on the other side of the world running a marathon. How is that actually possible? And yet it's the defining principle of the quantum world. And what's even more interesting is that we as humans have the ability to bring all of those different superpositions into a single fixed state, just with our observation. Collapse is the term used in quantum physics. Neville teaches us that consciousness is the one and only reality, and reality is a reflection of our consciousness. And whether we realize it or not, we are actually quantum jumping all the time and moving in and out of parallel realities. Stay with me because what I'm about to share with you is going to totally help you speed up your manifestations, become more conscious of your power, and help you get the things out of life that you really want. Where you place your thoughts, where you hold your assumptions, and what stories you're telling to people, whatever you're focusing on, whatever those stories are, that's what's being reflected back to you as your reality. And what's really exciting is we can revise those stories. Focus on the problem and you just see more problems. But if you start focusing on the solution, you start seeing the answers. Right now, you and I, we are learning how to guide and direct our consciousness towards the reality that we want to create. A very important principle that Neville teaches is that the past and the future are just concepts of our consciousness. They're just concepts of our imagination. Does time really exist? Now just think about this for a minute. For 30 seconds, if you put your finger on a hot stove, it would literally be the longest 30 seconds of your life. But if you spent those 30 seconds with the love of your life, it'd be the shortest 30 seconds of your life. Is time just a concept of our imagination? Quantum theory says that time occurs in the past, future, and present all at once on a quantum level. In consciousness, there's no time, and that means all possibilities exist here, now, in this moment. Neville says that all creation is finished, meaning that all outcomes to all possible situations and circumstances exist now. Neville's teachings explain that we are not actually manifesting anything. We are just collapsing our focus to the reality that we want. Just imagine the possibilities. Literally the most wonderful, best day of your life to total hell. And it's all depending on your self-concept that is based on your beliefs and your assumptions and the stories that you're telling about yourself. Some of these stories that we're not aware of, we're completely unconscious that we're even telling them. And that's how we end up counter-manifesting things into our life that we don't even really want. Neville says that we are constantly quantum jumping, and we're doing it with our imagination and with our dominant frequency, our dominant thoughts. It takes a lot of persistence because you can't just imagine your new reality and then forget about it. You have to hold on to that energy and that thought long enough for it to become your dominant frequency, for it to solidify into your reality. A lot of times I know what happens to me is I start trying to visualize this new reality, and then immediately my brain just wants to jump back like a computer program, back to the default program that's been installed from my childhood. So it takes a lot of practice to really hone this skill, but I'm telling you, you could do it. Scripting, visualizing, meditation, even you're using your voice recorder on your phone, doing all of these things will help you to start transforming your dominant thoughts in your subconscious and your beliefs and your assumptions. You've got to become aware and avoid those pre-programmed thoughts like I'm too busy or it's hard to lose weight or whatever it is, and transform those thoughts into I always have enough time. It's easy to lose weight. I am a magnet for money. Money just flows to me and I don't have to work that hard. I know you've heard this before and I know it's super simple, but it's incredibly powerful and effective because that inner voice, it is commanding your consciousness and your consciousness is reflecting back to you your reality, and you have the power to direct that any way you choose. If you hold on to this reality long enough, then it will solidify into your life and you can experience it with your 5 senses. Collapse your attention to the reality that you want to experience. You are powerful and you are meant for greatness. I'm Sarah Stone Love, and if you like the video, please subscribe, leave me a comment, and I hope that this video empowers you to know that you are meant for greatness.